Hmm. This is gonna be short and sweet. Y'all can say what y'all want about it, but you can't dick ride this. Now, Jae Millz is an artist that I respect, that I like. I still think to this day his Go Crazy freestyle is one of the best freestyles of artists that ever put out freestyles. That shit is bananas. That's just my personal opinion. I always love that freestyle. If you really listen to what he's saying, the hunger in his voice, you know what I mean? This is, I think, before he got signed to Young Money, but on the verge of getting signed to Young Money. But anyway, um, and he released like a project earlier this year with no Young Money feature, and I thought that was pretty dope. Not that he didn't have the features, but the project itself. But then he just dropped off this EP, and it's kind of like, I didn't know what to think, and I was like, damn, this shit is not really that dope. It's all right. But let's go and get into it. The first track, For the Win, you have the clip at the beginning of the record, and then you have the clip at the end, which is Jordan, where he won a little championship or whatever. But the beat was mellow. Of course, we know Jae Millz has bars on top of bars, so he has some ill bars in here, some punchlines and good metaphors. His lyrics were very vivid. You definitely could feel where he was coming from with what he was saying. His flow was on point. It had no hook. He just rapped all the way straight through, and he did his thing. Number two is where it got weird for me. You remember that song Drake did where I think it was They Know, where it was like they know. Somebody tell me I fell off. Ooh, I needed that. Right? That's basically the hook and the vibe of the song. For some reason, I just felt like that song needed that Drake sample. Like, I, I'm just saying it would have worked better, and maybe could have got better production. But he basically jacked that hook in the flow of how Drake did that. You know what I mean? So I thought it was cool, but it wasn't really all that. I mean, he had honesty in his record. Even his flow, the way he rapped, was kind of distorted in not a bad way, but he definitely just gives you the ins and outs of people that saying that I fell off because of this or because of that. The topics he talked about, he was flexing in his lyrics. You know what I mean? Good bars, of course, as always. I can say that the way he used the I needed that part of the song that Drake did, the little bar he put out there, it fit him more, Jae Millz, because it's like he's been in that category to where a lot of speculation, like he been signed all this time and never dropped the album. He been in game all this long and never put out a solo album. So when people were like, oh, Jae Millz is not the Millz from '04 or whatever, he fell off. So I definitely felt like I understood that song and got where he was coming from. I'm still a Jae Millz fan and still waiting on him to put his debut album out. Pusha T working on this first one, dropped it, and working on the second one. I feel Jae Millz need to just go ahead and do it. I think he put out an independent project earlier this year, like I was saying, but still, it's like, damn, you wanted to see Jae Millz win on a Young Money, or else why did Wayne sign him? Moving on to number three, Time After Time, featuring Dave East, Styles P. That song is a dope record. You got Dave East on the hook, Styles did his thing. If I remember right, I think Dave East has a verse on it, but I don't quote me on that. Styles did his thing on that record as well. That was a record that I actually went back to and listened to twice. So I had to give it a second go over. That's why I'm like, damn, I can't. I know Dave East was on the hook, but I cannot remember if he had a verse. But that song was just a dope song. Moving on to number four, Itch featuring Mackerel. Now the production on this was whack in my personal opinion. I definitely feel like Jae Millz could have got a better beat than that. Seeing how he knows so many dope producers and he has some of the most dopest beats ever on his mixtapes, from his Potent series to any other series you want to go to that he didn't have that many series, but you get the mixtapes that he put out. He had great production. You could have went to Arab Music, Boy Wonder, just a bunch of people that, you know what I'm saying, he could have went to, but then he basically talked about it in the mixtape saying I couldn't get niggas to give me beats or fuck with me, so basically I started making beats. Everybody can't make beats. Let's keep it real. I think it was a rap when Soulja Boy beats was cool, but definitely when Chief Keef started making beats, everybody can't be a producer. Blame Fruity Loops. But basically, long story short, I didn't like that song. Number five, Couple Millions. It was I didn't like it. See, if I can't get into a song in the first 5 seconds, I'm not gonna like it. Because if the beat takes too long to kick in or the way somebody sound in their voice, I can't do it. That's just me. Now, y'all may like that song, but I can't do it. And the last track, 5 a.m. in Miami, that was a good record. From the lyrics to the hook to the beat, everything about it, the shit he talked about, because we know he lives in Miami, you know what I mean? So I definitely feel like that was dope. But it still reminded me of, like, I'm not saying they remind me of Drake, but it's just like Drake is the only artist that I heard come out with a song that's 5 a.m. and something. You know what I mean? So Jae Millz did this thing out of 6 tracks, 4 of them was dope. I gave it 3.5 out of 5. Production 3.5 out of 5. I mean, he ended the year cool, but I feel like definitely he need to put out more product. Like he had a good 2014, but I just want to see him do more as far as his career and take into his own hands, seeing how his boss is going through turmoil with the label. What else did I do? Oh, in the Chinks review, I stated that he reminded me of Little Dirk. I don't hate Little Dirk. You know, I never said that. I just said Chinks reminded me of him. You know, Little Dirk projects are hit and miss at times. So the person that left that comment, I don't hate Little Dirk. I never said that. I just feel like if he has potential, he's not showing it in my personal opinion. And to say he's the best out of Chicago, I think that's your opinion. But I mean, honestly, he don't rap better than BB O'Hare. He don't rap better than Tink. He don't even rap better than Katie Got Bands, in my opinion. Those are girls. So I'll leave that with that. But Jae Millz for the Win EP. Let me know if you liked it. Liked it. Sounds so ghetto, right? Let me know if you liked it. And if you did, what songs you fuck with, what songs you didn't. Gave y'all every request I asked for. So other than that, I'm out.